Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom has, in my opinion, one of the most intriguing endings out of any film within this franchise. With genetic power now being unleashed into the world on a massive scale, the possibilities for the sixth film in the franchise are realistically endless. No one knows for sure what the next movie in the series might be about, but this particular entry's offering leaves many undoubtedly excited. The death of Isla Nublar and the relocation of these animals was done on purpose after all, and the writers of this newest entry in the Jurassic series actually weren't the first to end a story in the franchise this way. With that being said, in order for us to know exactly what the ending of Fallen Kingdom means for the series, we're going to have to go back to the book, Michael Crichton's 1990 novel, Jurassic Park. Days went by and the survivors stayed put. The government had been gracious to those that had made it off of Cloud Island before the napalm bombing, but they felt like they'd been deceived by John Hammond and his overambitious goal to create a dinosaur theme park. There was no burial for the billionaire, nor did they permit one for the famed chaotician, Ian Malcolm. Each day, they made Grant go over his story in a government office. He'd told the same account of events again and again, but the Costa Ricans needed to make sure that he wasn't lying. Grant began to feel like there was something that they wanted him to tell them, something different, almost as if they were waiting for something. He didn't know what for. Finally, he was sitting around the swimming pool of the hotel one afternoon, watching Lex and Tim splash, when an American with khakis walked up. "We've never met before," said the man, "but I'm Marty Gutierrez. I'm a researcher here at the Carrara station." Grant immediately recognized the name. This was the guy who found the original specimen of the Procompsognathus Grant identified. "That's right, yes," said Marty. "You must be eager to go home." Grant replied that, indeed he was. He only had a few days left to dig in Montana before the winter would set in. First snow usually came in August. Is that why the Hammond Foundation supported northern digs? Because intact genetic material from dinosaurs was more likely to be recovered from cold climates? Grant told the man it was what he presumed, yes. Gutierrez nodded. He was a clever man, Mr. Hammond. The man in khakis now took a seat next to Grant in a pool chair, and he began to give the paleontologist some insight. The authorities won't tell you, because they're afraid, and perhaps also resentful for you for what you've done. But something very peculiar is happening in the rural regions. The bites of the babies has thankfully stopped, but now there's something else. This spring in the Ismaloya section in the north, some unknown animals ate the crops in a very peculiar manner. They moved each day in a straight line, almost as straight as an arrow, from the coast to the mountains, then to the jungle. Alan sat upright. Now he was concerned. Like a migration, wouldn't you say, Dr. Grant? The paleontologist immediately asked what crops they were eating, and they would only eat agma beans and soy, sometimes chickens, foods rich in lysine. Grant asked what happened to these animals, and Martin replied with a grim answer. They entered the jungles. In any case, they have not been found. Of course, it would be difficult to search for them in the jungle. Search party could spend years in the Ismaloya Mountains with nothing to show for it. Grant began to ask why exactly they were being kept there, but Gutierrez only shrugged. Government's worried. Perhaps there are more of these animals on the mainland. This didn't sit well with Grant. He asked if Martin thought there were any more, but he couldn't say. And now Martin asked Alan if he thought it was possible. Was it possible for more dinosaurs to be in Costa Rica? And Grant said yes. Gutierrez got up and waved to Lex and Tim in the pool. They're probably going to send the children home. No reason not to do that. Enjoy your stay with us, Dr. Grant. It's a lovely country here. Grant got up and said, "You're telling me we're not going anywhere?" Marty put on his sunglasses. "None of us is going anywhere, Dr. Grant." And then he turned and walked back towards the entrance of the hotel. Michael Crichton's original novel ends quite differently to what went down in the initial movie version. So much so that the 1993 film changed the trajectory of not only the movie universe sequels, but also that of Crichton's own follow-up novel. With the helicopter leaving the island behind untouched in the original movie, this entire subplot of dinosaurs having gotten off of the island was completely omitted from the movie's narrative. This is where Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom comes in. Now, with the ending of that film, the dinosaurs have all successfully been redirected towards what Crichton originally penned as the epilogue of the very first Jurassic story. Not only did Colin Trevorrow course-correct this franchise and put it down the path that the author initially intended, he destroyed Isla Nublar via volcano, similarly to what Crichton did with the fictional Costa Rican Air Force napalm bombing. To put it simply, Jurassic Park's ending was essentially translated to the big screen in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, a full 28 years after that first story's initial publication. This is followed up briefly in the Lost World with the burning of dinosaur carcasses that were found on the mainland, the government desperately trying to cover up how large of an outbreak the Isla Nublar incident actually was. Where they'll take us in Jurassic World 3 is anyone's guess, but if there's one thing I think we can all agree on, it's that it will undoubtedly be somewhere that we've never seen before. Now before I go, I want to thank my game wardens, as well as all of my InGen executives. I'd also like to thank all of my park workers and InGen hunters as well. Words can't express how awesome it is to have you guys help me build this thing up, and I seriously am eternally grateful for every ounce of support that you've shown me. Honestly guys, it means the world. Now, I'd like to thank you all for watching this video, and hope that you all enjoy today's content. If you feel like I deserve it, I'd appreciate the like, and hope that you'll consider subscribing if you're interested in hearing from me again. I'll see you all in the next video, guys. And as always, take it easy.